Earlier today in Washington, D.C., the President of the United States, Donald Trump, hosted the first ever crypto summit. This was attended by all of the bigwigs in the blockchain industry and, of course, those in Washington and even Wall Street. They did a couple things today that are going to affect the markets, but probably not in the way that you think. There was an executive order signed by Donald Trump and some of the clarity revolving Bitcoin and some of the altcoins such as XRP were also discussed. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what some of the actual things that were put into place, what could happen in the future regarding those executive orders, and I'm going to be talking about a potential for billions upon billions of XRP to be donated to the United States government. So I'm going to dig into some of the details regarding that. You're not going to want to miss it. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right here on this channel, we are covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community. And if you do a couple of things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, watch this video all the way to the end. And don't forget to hit that bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. If you do all those things, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's jump into it. Yeah, so earlier today, a crypto summit happened in Washington, D.C. We had Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. You had Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. You had many in the blockchain industry attending this event. Michael Saylor was there. Of course, the crypto czar, David Sachs, appointed by Donald Trump to head up the AI and crypto division of the Trump administration. And this summit was really to discuss the future of blockchain, specifically for the United States, but it's really going to be adopted by the world, and some of the precedents that are being set are going to be adopted by the world. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about was what is happening with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, for the past couple of months, they've been discussing it since Trump was elected, that there was going to be a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And then a couple of days ago, Trump sent out on social media saying, oh, by the way, he also loves XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Ethereum as well. And that sent Bitcoin maximalists into a meltdown because, of course, they want Bitcoin only and nothing else in the world matters. Well, today, Donald Trump flipped the script a little bit because he signed an executive order stating that, yes, in fact, there will be a strategic Bitcoin reserve. They are treating Bitcoin a little bit differently than they are some of the rest of the cryptocurrencies. But here's the thing. That executive order was signed for Bitcoin specifically. And I'm going to be talking about how they're actually going to be attaining this Bitcoin, because there's a few creative ways that they could go about it without spending taxpayer dollars. And that is one of the most important parts of this order. Now you have others like XRP, Solana, some of the altcoins. It was made known that they're going to start stockpiling these cryptocurrencies, but that's pretty much where they left it. It was extremely vague, and like I mentioned before, they don't want to use taxpayer dollars or any spending bills to actually do this. So how could they go ahead and do that, and what impacts might they have on the market? Well, since that executive order was signed and all the headlines came out all over social media, not a lot has happened other than the market dipping a little bit. Because in my opinion, if you look at the charts, it almost doesn't matter what that news is going to be. A lot of people are still in that fear mindset of the fear and greed index. The fear and greed Bitcoin index is still very deep in the fear. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that the fact of a strategic Bitcoin reserve, in my opinion, and several others from what I've been reading, was already priced into the market. In other words, people heard this even a couple of months ago after Trump was announced as president, and they already decided that a Bitcoin reserve was going to happen, so they got in. So many people think that this executive order that was just on today was already priced into the markets. The others, XRP, Solana, this wasn't touched on quite as much. And in my opinion, this could have a greater impact on the altcoin market depending on what they do with it. So before I get into a potential for Ripple donating a huge part of their escrow to the United States government, I quickly want to discuss something that you guys may not have seen before. And that is the sponsor of today's video, Limitless Exchange. And it's not like the typical trading that you would think. Check it out. All right, everybody. I wanted to introduce you to Limitless.exchange. They are an amazing sponsor of this video. I wanted to go through their website because it's one of the most interesting things that I've seen in a while. It's actually the world's fastest prediction market. It's over $150 million worth of trades. It's extremely easy to onboard. It's easy to sign up. All you have to do is connect your wallet, and you can begin trading on questions such as, will the price of a dozen eggs be greater than $6 in February? Or how about specifically in the crypto market where I spend most of my time? Let's see. How about, will Bitcoin be above 89,000 on March 14th? That's an interesting one. How about, will Bitcoin be at an all-time high in March? So what you're going to do to connect is sign in. You're going to connect your wallet. I have a Phantom wallet, which I'm going to use for this video. You can also use MetaMask and a handful of other wallets as well. All of your crypto is stored in your wallet. You don't have to deposit onto Limitless. So what we're going to do is confirm that. And now my Phantom wallet is, of course, connected. Let's confirm that again. And there we go. So what you're going to have is USDC on the Base network, and then you're going to be able to take part in this. So for instance, Bitcoin at an all-time high in March. Now, if you were to buy, say, $10 worth of USDC, there's about 17% of the market says yes, 82% says no. So if you go ahead and put your $10 trade on yes, and it turns out to be true, it does surpass an all-time high in March, that $10 would return $54.47. If you select no and you're correct, that $10 would be worth $12 USDC, simply because the market sentiment seems to think that, well, at least 83% of them, is that Bitcoin is not going to hit an all-time high in March. Now, this is a really cool site because it not only includes cryptocurrencies, you can also head into the financial markets and see what else you can make trades on. How about the CPI in February? This is the inflation number. 77.8% believe the inflation number is going to be higher than 0.2% in February. Yes, I also believe that. So you can go ahead, click on that, and of course you can do the same thing. You can select to buy yes or no. You can also sell your yes or no. You can check out the different charts and see what the market sentiment is producing. This is a really interesting exchange. I hope you guys go ahead and take part in it. The user experience is actually extremely easy to follow. And like I said, there's no deposits, there's no risks. Everything's done from your wallet, just seamless trading. Go ahead and check out Limitless Financial. It looks like a very creative idea, and it's definitely something to have some fun with. So go ahead and support the sponsor of this video. Go ahead and check that out. All right, so before we talk about XRP and Ripple, we're going to talk about the United States government and how they could actually fund the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Because here's the thing, as I mentioned before, they can't do a spending bill. They can't use taxpayer money to do it. The libertarians in the crypto industry wouldn't have for it. Wall Street might have a different mindset, but nonetheless, they're not going to be using taxpayer dollars. So how are they actually going to do it? Well, number one, what they're doing is, as I mentioned in a previous video, they're going to be using all the confiscated Bitcoin that they've already collected and that they're already holding as their strategic reserve right now. Now, how are they going to grow it? Well, there's a few different ways that they could grow it, but they would have to be creative. Number one, somebody could just donate it out of their own goodwill. Not sure if I see that happening. Number two, they could get strategic in their partnerships with things like Bitcoin mining industry. They could also issue debt, sell treasury bonds, and use some of that money to go ahead and purchase and stockpile the rest of the cryptocurrencies. So there's a few things that they could get creative with without actually having to create a spending bill and use taxpayer dollars, which of course Trump and Doge wants to stay away from. So regardless of what they do with the rest of the digital asset stockpile, in my opinion, that stockpile is still going to be big, because every time it comes up in the news, every time there's a report of how much stockpile has been added to it, it's just going to go into people's minds that there is now scarcity with those coins. Of course, Bitcoin, you have scarcity. There's not being any more created. XRP, there's not being any more created. And a lot of these other digital assets are in that same boat, but not all of them. So you have to be careful, especially if you're new to cryptocurrencies, which ones have a hard set limit and which ones can be printed into oblivion, like fiat dollars, which is what completely destroys our purchasing power. Okay, so now I wanted to talk about Ripple giving 35 to 40% of their escrow of XRP to the United States government for that crypto reserve. And I saw this and I was like, that sounds a little too good to be true, because of course everybody thinks, every XRP holder is thinking, well, if that escrow is burned or if it's given away and it just can't be sold onto the market, to the institutional buyer market, then that'll help drive the price up. Well, in theory, yes. Here's the thing. I looked high and low for a source, a credible source, that talked about Ripple giving their escrow, or even a portion of their escrow, to the United States government as a reserve. And here's the thing. There is no credible source, because right now that's just a rumor. It went all over social media. It's still going all over social media. And until somebody can find a credible source that anything came directly from Ripple, one of its executives, or anybody in the United States government within the cryptocurrency industry, specifically the ones that we're all meeting today, well, then I am all ears. But until then, this is just a rumor. This is just speculation. It is a very creative method of doing something for Ripple that Ripple's kind of had a problem with, which is what are they going to do with this escrow other than keep it locked up and every month open it up for institutional sales and then close it back up? You know the drill if you follow XRP. And this could be a very creative option for the United States government as well to get their hands on a huge reserve and start stockpiling these digital assets, especially one with utility. It's not like XRP is falling away to the wayside. The more weeks and months and years go by, the more we see institutions, the more we see banks and payment partnerships globally verify their interest in using XRP. In fact, a lot of them actually currently use it. So nonetheless, these are all very big news out of Washington. In my opinion, it's not necessarily something that's going to skyrocket the price of either Bitcoin or any of the altcoins, but the fact that this is now established, it's going to create something that as we go into the rest of this bull market and into other bull markets, especially for years to come, that people are going to be looking to in terms of how much the United States government holds and what effect that's going to have on the markets. And like I said at the beginning of this video, what the rest of the world is going to be doing, because if there's going to be any kind of global competitive nature, specifically in finance, which we know there's going to be countries that are going to be doing exactly the same thing. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Do you think all of this is blown out in proportion? Do you think Ripple will actually give or donate any of their escrow to the United States Reserve? Let me know in the comment section below. You can also follow me on X. That link is in the description below too. And if you do any cryptocurrency trading, make sure you do it on BitFi or Bitunix. There's copy trading. They get free trading signals, all kinds of great stuff. And don't forget to support the sponsor of this video, Limitless Exchange. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.
Institution. Lambo dreams fueled by them crypto stacks. Future in our hands, we ain't looking back. XRP to the moon, watch 'em rise and shine.